Hey Daniel, so this is my first year ever coming to a university, and I just have so many questions, and I don't know who I should talk to.
Well, I know exactly who you should talk to, and they're from the Niner Central office.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the season finale of FamFridays with your hosts, Daniel Mahmood.
And Anna Cagle.
And today we're interviewing a representative from the Niner Central office.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Laney, and I'm the director of your Niner Central Student Services Center. And at Niner Central, we're available to assist you Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with any questions that you have about financial aid, about the registrar, anything you have for student records, transcripts, any questions that you have about billing, everything on your student account, we can help you with that at Niner Central. And then we always like to say we're also the place to go when you don't know where to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll go ahead and jump on into this interview and start with, can you tell us where is the best place to order textbooks?
So we always refer students to Barnes and Noble. Obviously, we have a tremendous bookstore here on campus. They have the best supply of rental and used books. Those are sold obviously on a first come, first served basis. So it's one of the things you want to think about when you're planning your purchases. But by ordering early, you always get that best chance to have the lowest price on your textbooks. There are other sites that are available. You can always Google. I always try to caution our students, though, to make sure that you are aware of exactly what it is that you're purchasing and who you're purchasing from. So that's probably the safest thing to do. And I think that applies for everything on the internet, right? Not just our textbooks.
For sure. And I know something that I learned this year actually is that Barnes and Noble does have a price match guarantee kind of thing. So if you find the book that you're getting used or new at a better price, then the bookstore will actually match that for you. So it works out really well.
Yeah, Anna, thanks for adding that for our students and our families. You know, our goal always at the university is to try to make sure that your education costs the least amount possible, because the last thing we want is for our students to end up with a financial challenge that they can't overcome during the semester or end up with a lot of debt at the end of their journey.
For sure. And on to the next question, kind of along with classes and things of that nature, is how can family members check on their students' grades, or can they?
They can. There's a caveat. So your student has to provide you with permission to do that. So we spend a lot of time with families, obviously, working with our families and our students. One of the challenges frequently that we will encounter is a mom or dad or a grandparent, a guardian, a friend who may be helping our student with their accounts and their billing. They may run into a situation where they have a question, they want to call us and ask about that. And there's a couple of different ways that that can happen. So there is a educational act that really protects all of the students' information. So we want to keep that information as secure as possible. Just like if your bank has a relationship with you, it's the same way here at campus. So we have a relationship. We want to protect all the information that our students provide to us. So we want to make sure we're talking to someone who's authorized to speak to us about that student account. A lot of times parents will say, well, I'm paying the bill. Of course I can access those grades. We really appreciate that our families assist our students in paying those bills. It still comes down to the student providing that family member, friend, guardian with access to their account. So it's a multi-step process. There is a guest access portal. Students can add anyone that they want to that access authority, and it creates a multi-step process. So it sends a notification to the person who has been provided access. Frequently, a lot of times students will say, well, I did that for my parent, but the parent also has to go into that notification and complete the setup process. And that link can actually time out, much like it would if you were doing a banking relationship and you were adding someone to a credit card, right? So we want to make sure that our parents and family members actually complete that process in a timely manner. So we always encourage them, as soon as you get it, go ahead and complete the process. There's also an additional component. Once that student has provided you with access, if they want to allow you to speak to us over the phone, because we can't verify your identification, one of the things they will do is they will create a passphrase for you. And we always say, you know, do something that makes it easy for that family, friend, guardian to remember. So they will also set up a passphrase. So when you call Niner Central, we're going to ask you for that passphrase to make sure that you are a person that is authorized to have the information that you're asking for. If you're going to do anything online to access, look at grades, look at accounts, pay a bill, those sorts of things, all of that will be set up as a part of your link.
Awesome. Yeah, that's like a lot of information, but it's good to know that kind of going into the first year, especially.
Especially, Anna, because like I said, we don't want to frustrate our family and friends that are trying to assist our students. And that can be a point of frustration when they'll call and they'll say, but I need to be able to pay this bill. And we're like, thank you so much. We appreciate you paying that bill. Let us speak with your student. And that's one of the things we'll do is we'll go ahead and send step-by-step instructions to your student to let them know if they choose to provide you with permission. And that's a family conversation, right? If they choose to provide you with that permission, then they have the step-by-step instructions for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one question that we get a lot from our family members and even from incoming students is, are there accommodations for students with learning disabilities?
Absolutely. So we have a tremendous team of folks over at our Office for Disability Services, and they can help any student, family member work through what accommodations are available. We also have some special tools for either our sight impaired or our hearing impaired students, even when they come into Niner Central, so we can help you with that. But especially when it comes to any of the academic accommodations, really we try to encourage all of our students and families to visit that Office for Disability Services first, because they're going to be able to give you the entire slate of services and support that's available for our students.
Awesome. And to move on to our next question, how does my student receive scholarships and financial aid?
So the first step, we always encourage every family, and we start saying this as early as we possibly can. So we start saying this at the open houses. We say it, you know, anywhere that you look on the Niner Central site associated with financial aid. The very first step that is critical is to complete the free application for financial aid. It is free, it is free, it is free. So anytime our students or family members are going to a site that is asking for them to pay, that is the wrong site. They're hitting the wrong place. So we always want to make sure that they go to the expectation is that it is the free application for federal aid. And once you complete that application, it opens a world of possibilities, right? So it is the first step. And we encourage everybody to do it and to do it by October 1, October 1, October 1, because it not only creates your eligibility for federal aid, but it also gives us the information necessary to know whether there's institutional aid that's available that comes straight from the UNC Charlotte campus. And it also tells us whether or not you're eligible for state of North Carolina financial aid. So that aid is much more limited, right? And so we always tell everybody do it October 1 because we want to get you at the front of the line. So if you're in that application pool for that very first October 1 deadline, then you're going to have priority for being considered available for any of the aid that we can offer you. And then for our scholarships, there are multiple ways that you can access scholarships, but first thing you've got to do for our scholarships here at UNC Charlotte is complete that free application for federal aid. It creates your eligibility status for a lot of the scholarships available. And then we have a special portal that our students can go into, and they complete one application in the portal, and they answer just a ton of questions that will determine their eligibility for any of the scholarships that we are offering here at UNC Charlotte. So there are obviously additional scholarships that are available online. A lot of times they're available through even credit unions Employers, like your family's employers, frequently they'll have applications and scholarships available too. But the Niner Scholars Portal is what you want to complete here on campus to make sure you get all the scholarship opportunities that are available to you. And there's a time that we'll post the scholarship office. We have a separate office for them in enrollment management, and they will post everything online. It's available all on the Niner Central website. And it will post what the opening dates are for that portal and what the closing dates are for the portal. But you want to do that every year. So you want to go in and complete your free aid for application, federal aid. Do it every year, October 1. We have some families that get confused and think, well, I only fill that out once. Well, actually, your income and situation can change. And so we want to make sure that you do that every single year so that you get considered for all the aid that is available to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Niner Central in the past has really helped me kind of figure out my financial aid situations before. So I really appreciate that. And I'm sure
Oh,
these
great
will.
to hear.
Yeah. So moving on to our next question. I know one common question that families have a lot is, what is work study and how do I know if my student qualifies?
So that's a great question. Frequently that gets skipped on your free federal aid application, right? So there is actually a box on there that you can check that says, I am interested in federal work study. And so once you check that box, it will determine based on your assessment, based on the review and all of your eligibility requirements, that will be another type of aid that is offered to you. So even though a student, once they are identified as eligible, first step, you're going to check the box that says you're interested in that as a type of aid. And then once they do that, if they are eligible, they'll be notified in their financial aid offer that they are eligible to receive federal work study. And then on our campus, they will actually, once they get that notification, they'll receive communication about that. And everything goes to your UNCC email address. So please, 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 please check your UNCC email address. So once they get that indication that they are eligible, then they'll actually go onto a site that we have called Hire a Niner. And it's all done through an application process. And any of the work study eligible positions on there, they can actually apply for any that they're interested in. And so the way that actually works is it's considered a form of aid because it's funded by federal dollars. And the student works and earns that money throughout the year, and they receive it in the form of a payroll check.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Hire a Niner is an awesome resource. Whether you do qualify for a work study or not, Hire a Niner has job opportunities for every student. So I would definitely highly recommend checking out Hire a Niner if your student is interested in having a job either on campus. There are also opportunities for internships and other things off campus as well. So definitely check that out if your student is interested in those kinds of opportunities.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you answering all these questions from our family members today and taking the time out of your busy schedule to answer them. Go Nine.
Thank you so much for watching this series and just supporting us through this FamFridays. Hopefully in the future we can do a season 2, but I hope you all enjoyed the season premiere, and please feel free to reach out to us at parents@uncc.edu if you have any more questions.